No matter how many times I did bench pressing, and even after gaining 20 kilos in body weight, I still had a flat chest. Whereas now, I've definitely got a much fuller chest, and it really makes a huge difference to my whole physique. It took me 4 years of trial and error, guessing the workouts, guessing the reps, but in today's video, I'm going to walk you through my exact step-by-step approach on how to blow up your chest. I'm going to talk to you as if you're the 17, 18-year-old Beckles that I used to be. Number 1, warming up correctly. Now, before we go into any heavy movements and any heavy lifting, we need to ensure we're properly priming ourselves for the lifts. And this is something I used to struggle with a lot. I used to just go to the gym, try and smash as much weight as I could, and then I'd wonder why I don't feel any of the muscles working in my chest when I'm trying to do the bench press, and it's because I didn't prime them. I didn't get them ready for the actual exercises. So what we want to do when we get to the gym is have a little warm-up routine. First of all, we can start off with a little bit of cardio. So a rowing machine for 1 to 2 minutes. Then after that, we can do some light lateral raises. Now this is extremely underrated, and by doing lateral raises or by doing some shoulder extensions, this will help to free up the shoulders a bit and ensure that every part of our chest as well as our shoulders are primed and are ready for the movements. What we can then do is some push-ups. So I'd only do a couple of push-ups, but this really helps to get my mind to muscle connection and feel my chest working. And you're probably already thinking, just give me the exercises, give me the sets, give me the reps. But trust me, doing this little warm-up routine will actually help you to lift more and obviously avoid injuries and everything else. So don't overlook it. Cool. So once you've done that, you want to get onto your exercises. So if you're doing something like a bench press, your first exercise, what you want to do in terms of the warm-up is a warm-up set. So one set of 10 reps and around 40% or 50% of your working weight. So if you normally rep 80 kg for your warm-up set, you want to do 40 kg or 30 kg for about 8 to 10 reps. That's what I do. Once you've done that, you can do the little trial. So if you're still lifting 80 kg for reps, you could do 3 or 4 reps with 60 kg or 50 kg. And now after your warm up and after your 2 warm-up sets, you're properly ready to attack this session. So let's get into the actual workouts and the actual sessions. Starting with the workout schedule. Now with my split, I did upper lower, arms. Of course there's rest days in there too. Now it might come to a shock to you, I had no separate chest day, but I was still training each muscle group twice per week. And with the chest, it's a large muscle group, so trying to do that 3 times a week whilst getting adequate rest is going to be tricky. Whereas with smaller muscle groups like arms, they recover a lot quicker, so it's easier to fit them in. However, with my upper days, to really prioritize my chest and grow it, I started to do my incline press as a first exercise. And by placing the incline press right at the start, this meant that I could give it my absolute all. I had the most energy, I had the most power, the most strength to focus on that at the start of the session, rather than having it at the end of the session when I'm tired, when I'm depleted. The reason I chose incline press at the start rather than bench press or any other chest exercise is because with incline movements on the chest, this is going to bring that fullness, that pop to your chest, and really took my chest to a whole different level. Because prior to that, I was doing bench press, then machine press, then seated cable flies, and they were all targeting the same, so the mid to lower chest, and I wasn't targeting much of the upper chest. And since really focusing on the upper chest, that's when I had that fullness and my chest looked way better. For my first upper day, I would do incline Smith machine, and this is a great exercise. It's way easier to load up, and I feel such a good squeeze and contraction in my chest when doing it. And then for the second upper day, I would do the incline press again. However, this would be with dumbbells. So I had the free weight, I could build up the stability, and I had a little bit of variation, but it was still targeting the same muscles. Now, in terms of sets and reps for these exercises, for the first upper body day, the incline Smith machine press, I would do 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps, and this would be strength training. Whereas with the upper 2, when I was doing the incline dumbbell bench press, this would be 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. So it's more hypertrophy. And this meant I was getting strength training as well as hypertrophy training all in the same week. Now, for upper one, the other chest exercise that was in that routine was the seated machine flies. And for upper two, the other chest exercise in that routine was the flat dumbbell press. And with training chest, you really don't need any more than 2 to maximum 3 different movements. And I found that by just doing 2 movements, but having a good load of volume, a good load of sets on there, and pushing to failure really helped me to blow up my chest massively. Prioritization. Now, this is something which no one really talks about on YouTube and anywhere else, and I kind of had to figure it out myself. But after a certain point, when you've been training for years and years, even if you've trained, completely balanced and completely equally on all different aspects, there will be some strengths and there will be some weaknesses. And with me, my chest was definitely a weakness, whereas with my back, it was a big strength. And I found that by prioritizing my chest, this is where it grew a lot. But you might be thinking, with the upper body days, how have you done, so many reps, so many sets, and trained the rest of, your entire upper body? And how I structured it was by taking off sets and reps and even exercises from my strongest points. So instead of doing, 3 or 4 sets of a row, I'd only do 2 sets of a row and instead transfer that set over to a chest exercise. So for my back, I only did 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps and 2 different exercises for each upper body day. And I still saw, really good progress. My back was already pretty developed. So learning how to prioritize is really important once you've been training for quite a while. Now, I've covered this in lots of different videos, but essentially progressive overload is where you're going to be making all of the gains, all of the results. So you want to make sure you're lifting as heavy as possible whilst keeping good form, of course, or you're progressing in some way, whether that's reps, whether that's tempo, but always look to progress as much as you can. And if you can, being in a calorie surplus is also going to help, as it's going to be easier to train, you're going to have more energy, and you'll be able to put on strength, put on size a little bit easier. But if you're on a cut, you can still blow up your chest. And where possible, hitting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night so that your muscles can recover. Cool, so that has been the whole video. And if you wanted to learn how to blow up your back and get that V-taper aesthetic, I did put through a complete guide on how to do that. So you can click on this video right here. I break down everything, the sets, the reps, the exercises. So I hope you find that helpful. Other than that, drop a like, drop a subscription, and I'll catch you in the next one.